It was supposed to be a simple renovation project. As an architect, I had overseen countless restorations of old buildings, but this one was different. The Hawkins Manor, an abandoned Victorian mansion on the outskirts of town, had a reputation. They said it was cursed, that anyone who tried to fix it up met with misfortune. I didn't believe in such things. To me, it was just another job. The first few days were uneventful. The crew and I stripped away decades of neglect, peeling back layers of wallpaper and dust to reveal the manor's former glory. The house creaked and groaned as if protesting our efforts. I ignored it. It was an old building. Of course it would make noises. One evening, after the crew had gone home, I stayed behind to review the plans. The sun had set, and the only light came from the lamp on my desk. As I worked, I heard a faint whispering, like someone speaking just out of earshot. I dismissed it as the wind, but it continued, growing louder and more insistent. Curiosity got the better of me, and I followed the sound. It led me to the basement, a dank and musty place that we had yet to touch. The whispering seemed to come from behind a brick wall at the far end. I shone my flashlight on it, revealing a small, nearly invisible door. With some effort, I pried the door open, revealing a narrow passageway. The air was colder here, and the whispering grew louder, almost urgent. I should have turned back, but something compelled me to continue. The passage led to a hidden room, empty except for an old, ornate mirror hanging on the far wall. The mirror was covered in dust and grime, but as I wiped it clean, I saw my reflection staring back at me. Then something strange happened. The reflection began to change. The room behind me remained the same, but my image grew older. My hair turning gray, and my face wrinkling. I stepped back in shock, but the reflection stayed the same. The eyes in the mirror staring into mine with a knowing intensity. Suddenly, the door slammed shut, and the room plunged into darkness. The whispering grew louder, surrounding me. I could make out words now, a chant in a language I didn't understand. The air grew colder still, and I felt a presence behind me. I turned slowly, my heart pounding in my chest. In the darkness, I saw figures emerging from the shadows. They were the former inhabitants of the manor, their faces twisted in anguish. They reached out to me, their fingers cold as ice, and I felt their sorrow and pain wash over me. I tried to move, to escape. My feet were rooted to the spot. The whispers grew to a deafening roar, and I realized they were calling my name. They wanted something from me, something I couldn't give. Panic set in, and I closed my eyes, hoping it was all a nightmare. When I opened them again, the figures were gone, and the room was silent. The mirror, however, had changed. It no longer showed my reflection, but a different scene altogether. It was the manor, but in a different time. The walls were clean, the furniture pristine, and there, standing in the middle of the room, was a man who looked exactly like me. He stared at me through the mirror, a look of recognition in his eyes. He mouthed something, but I couldn't hear him. Then he reached out and touched the glass, and a cold shock ran through my body. I felt a strange pull, like I was being drawn into the mirror. I tried to resist, but it was too strong. The next thing I knew, I was standing in the room I had seen in the mirror, and the man who looked like me was gone. I turned to the mirror, and there he was, staring back at me from my world. He smiled, a cold, victorious smile, and I realized the truth. I was trapped in the past, in the manor as it once was. The whispers had been a warning, a plea for help from those who had suffered the same fate. The man in the mirror had escaped, taking my place in the present, and I was doomed to remain here, just another echo of the past, forever bound to the cursed Hawkins Manor. As the days turned into weeks, I realized there was no way out. The manor was my prison, and the whispers were my only company. They told me their stories, their tragedies, and I listened, knowing that one day someone else would come and the cycle would begin again. And I would be the one whispering, calling for help, hoping that this time someone would break the curse.